Hi everyone, my name is Natalie DC. I'm a reader, writer, and artist here to talk about art with you. Today I will be doing a sketchbook tour of this handmade sketchbook that I completed between January 2021 and December 2022. So that is almost 2 years right there. So this is definitely going to be a big chunky sketchbook. As I said, this isn't any particular brand of sketchbook. I made this myself using different paper that I found around my house as well as cardboard, and then I hand stitched it myself. A big chunker right here. So without further ado, let's get started. And I am behind the camera today speaking to you instead of a voiceover because my microphone died. So if you're wondering why the change of setup, I'm experimenting with that, so bear with me. So as I said, this is a hand-bound sketchbook. I just added a sketchbook and the date, and then a couple stickers. All the artists of all the stickers and prints that you will see within the sketchbook and outside the sketchbook will be linked in the description. So don't worry about that. If you're curious about any of the art that's not mine that you see, just go to the description. Everything will be there. But yes, this sticker here is an I voted early sticker, and I got it from a contest I won from, as you can see, AZ Youth Climate right there. And then this sticker here is from a order that I purchased from one of my favorite contemporary artists, Matthew Sorgi. So those are the two stickers on the front. But yes, let's get into it. So this was the first spread, and I wanted to start it off with just some goals over here. So like doing YouTube and practicing anatomy and like bigger paintings and stuff. I don't know if I got to any of this, but I tried. And then using a reference that I put down here, things I saw today on Instagram. I just did this little pen illustration of this photograph that I found on Instagram. And I like to tape in a bunch of random stuff into my sketchbook. You will definitely see that throughout this video. So there's just a bunch of cool tags that I found from clothing, candy wrapper, sticker, it's not from any artist, it's just one that I found lying around the house. And then I did this cute little illustration of this costume, I believe, that I found. Someone made it on Instagram. It's from the costume artist Dingyun Zhang. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, the ad is right there and it'll also be linked. But yeah, I'm really happy with this first spread. I think it's very cohesive. I think it was a good starting point for the sketchbook. And then I just did a bunch of random doodles with the Ohuhu markers that you will be seeing a lot in the sketchbook. This spread here, again, just a bunch of random things taped in for the most part, and then just some, I had an idea of like combining snails and mushrooms. I don't know why. So I did like mushrooms with snail shells as their heads, and then inversely I did a snail with a mushroom top as a little shell. So I thought it was a cute idea. I don't know, I was just playing around mostly. But yeah, and then just like a bunch of different things taped in, more snail doodles. I don't know, I was really into snails at this point for some reason. But yeah, this is an okay spread. This is a spread of some figure drawing. One of my goals for this sketchbook was to practice more anatomy, so I wanted to get ahead of that by doing some practice sketches of this model that I found on Instagram that I really love. I believe her name is Jamie Zala, and she'll be linked in the description. But I loved a lot of her photos, so I wanted to draw them in different poses and in different colors using different pens. This one is probably my favorite, as well as the blue one. And then I just did a bunch of like figure drawing. I had to cover up her hand there because I didn't like it. But yeah, I really like this spread. I thought it's very cohesive. I'd never done anything like this before, so it was definitely something new. So this spread here, again, just another thing taped in there. But this is a portrait of Billie Eilish. It's colored pencil, Prismacolor. And then I had watched this documentary about the right whales and how they're endangered. I did a little watercolor illustration inspired by that documentary. So it said save the right whales. I like the spread. This was much more bright when I made it. But as you know, like when you do colored pencil in a sketchbook and then you leave it for a while, it does get a bit faded. I don't know how I feel about her lip, but I do like the way I did her skin and her hair, so I really love this spread. So again, just a bunch of different things taped in. This is a print, if I'm not mistaken, that I got from the artist Tikva Art on Instagram, again, will be linked in the description. And then this is a really awesome little illustration, watercolor and pen that I did inspired by the song Two Queens in a King Size Bed by Girl in Red. I really loved it, so I did a bunch, like I did these two illustrations kind of like combined from the music video, and I really like how it turned out. And then I just did like a border made out of these little sticky notes that I had made for school, and I had no use for them anymore, so I just like made a little pink border. And I don't know, I really love this illustration. I love how I did the little figures like holding each other on the bed. I don't know, I really like how it turned out. I think it's really cute. On to the next one here. This spread I really love as well. This is a little candy wrapper there. And then the left here is a little process of making this Moroccan cookie that me and my family had made for the first time ever. It's called chibakia. Yeah, it's basically this fried dough like dipped in honey with sesame sprinkled over it. So I made like a little gouache illustration, like illustrating the process of making it. So like making the shape, frying it in the water, and then baking it with the sesame seeds. I really liked how this little spread came out. I thought it was super cute. And then on the right here, I just made a little, I believe this is marker and colored pencil portrait of FK Twigs. She had posted this picture on her Instagram, and I really loved how she looked in it, so I wanted to draw it. And yeah, I think the colors that I did here definitely match what I did here. But yeah, I really love the spread. This spread here is kind of all over the place. I believe I had won a Scholastic award, so I just taped in one of the flyers that I got. Yeah, a bunch of other stuff. These two here are stickers from Van Illustrates, again, linked in the description. This is a fox pot that I bought my little sister, and I thought it was really cute, so I doodled it. Same with this flower. I thought it was cute, so I drew it. And then this is like a little scrap piece of paper that I drew. I believe I was taking the SAT, and when I looked to my right in the classroom, there was a sign near the window that said, "Absent, look here." So basically, like, if your mind is in the clouds, just look at that sign and kind of focus on where you are. So I thought that was a really cool idea, and it stuck in my mind, so I just drew it. I don't even think I had a picture of it. I think I just drew it from my mind after the fact. So I'm pretty proud of this one, even though it's kind of random. But yeah, this, again, the spread's all over the place, but whatever. Again, more Van Illustrates. All of these are her stickers. This is her sticker, this is her sticker, and a bunch of Ohuhu marker doodles. Just this flyer I got in the mail, and I doodled all over it. A cat print business card, because I believe I got my prints at this time. And then I found this picture, I believe on Pinterest, or it might have been on Instagram, of like a shopping cart full of tennis balls, and I thought that was so random and weird and cool, so I just drew it out of pen, and I kind of like how it turned out. It's pretty random, but whatever. So there's that. I love this spread. I think it's so cool. So on the left here is two illustrations inspired by the film Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I had watched this for the first time, and I was really inspired by it. I love the movie, so I drew the two main characters, and then one of the main characters on fire. Like, that's like the significant motif in the movie. So yeah, I really like how this page turned out. And then on this page, I believe someone had posted a picture of their flowers, a more artistic picture of their flowers on their story, so I screenshotted it. Sometimes I do that with people, like I look through their stories and they take a picture of something really cool, so I screenshot it and like draw it for later. So I just use pen and I believe watercolor for this little doodle, and I really like how it turned out and how it like kind of goes onto the other page. I don't know, that was really cool. And then this is a bit NSFW, but I had a little like thingy on my shoulder, and I don't know, I called it like a third boob. It was weird and gross. If you don't want to hear it, just skip. But yeah, I drew that. It was weird, whatever. But yeah, overall, I really love this page. And this spread is really cool too. I had watched a few films, Je tu il elle. I really love that film, so I just did some doodles while I was watching it. And then some denim that I just taped in here because I didn't know what else to do with. Just a random illustration here. And then my best friend, I had met them for the first time in real life ever. I'd known them since like the 2nd grade. And yeah, it was really cool seeing them in person. So yeah, I took a few pictures of them and just illustrated them in my sketchbook. And I wrote best friend appreciation. So yeah, I think it's super cute. This spread I really like too. It's just a bunch of flowers because it was spring. This is another print by Tikba Art, and then these ants are from Van Illustrates, and then I forget who did these frog stickers, but again, will be linked in the description. And then I just found a bunch of flower pictures that I had taken, and I drew them using Ohuhu markers. I really loved how the colors turned out, and I did that on both spreads here. But yeah, super cute. This spread I really like too. This is a, I believe these two are business cards from the artist Apocalyptic. And then this is a Oh, so this is the person who did the frogs. The frog stickers over here, Amber Mart's Art. So that's their business card there. I like taping in people's business cards because they're really cute. And this I think was from the Van Illustrates order. But yeah, and then this is when I had graduated high school. So I had a picture of myself in my robes, and I had this idea of like stuff coming out of my face. And I eventually made that like an actual full-blown painting, but this was kind of like concept sketch of that. So I just did it out of, I believe, acrylic paint, and I like how the colors turned out. And yeah, the same here, like I had this idea of someone like crying, and then colors and little squiggles coming out of there, and like eventually going into little centipedes. Yeah, so just a couple ideas I had that I decided to just like flesh out in my sketchbook. This spread is kind of whatever. This was inspired by the movie La Jeune Fille en Man. It's like an animated movie. I liked it, so I decided to draw something, but it didn't turn out how I wanted, whatever. And then like a little bear because I didn't know how to fill the space. I believe on Carly, she's a YouTuber, she had this pot. You could like put a plant. So it looked like a plant was growing out of her head. So I really liked that idea, so I drew that. And then these are more stickers. I think it's from Amber Mart's Art. And then these are just hands. I didn't like this hand, so I covered it up, but this hand I liked, so. Yeah, just a bunch of random shit in this spread here. This spread is also whatever. I did a self-portrait of myself. Didn't really like how it turned out, so I kind of covered part of it. And then this here, I was doing like experimenting with painting water, using acrylics. So I kind of like how those turned out, and then I just pasted in a little postcard here. Again, another spread, just a bunch of random stuff pasted in. I had another strange idea with, again, with mushrooms like coming out of lips. So I drew that. It's kind of gross. And then I put like, I had gone to graduation and this was my ticket, so I liked how it looked, so I pasted in my sketchbook. Another froggy guy from Amber Mart's Art. And yeah, just a bunch of stuff pasted in. This spread I oddly like. There's not a lot of drawings. These are of flowers that I stuck in different pots around our room, and I wrote Everything's Gonna Be Okay because that's the name of a show I was watching at the time. And the rest of the stuff was just pasted in, but I don't know, I like how the colors like coincide with each other. So even though most of this isn't like my own art or anything, just a bunch of doodles and stuff pasted in, I still really like how it looks. So I don't know. Again, this is probably one of my least favorite spreads of the sketchbook. I hate how these s'mores turned out. I tried putting a quote here from one of my favorite books, but it just doesn't really look that well. I like this part where I put rose petals. They look better when they didn't, you know, wilt. The only part of this spread here that I like are these mushrooms that I drew. Other than that, I don't like this at all. This is gross. Yeah, so most of this I don't really care for. This is probably one of my favorite spreads. I believe that at this time, Halsey had come out with the cover of her latest album. She had released that, just the cover. If I Can't Have Love, I Want Power. The album is insanely good. The movie is insanely good, and I love the cover so much, so I drew that using colored pencil and I believe gouache. I didn't want to mess it up by painting her and the baby's face, so I just like blocked it out with orange tape, and I kind of like how that turned out. And I wrote this line from a short story I had written. I really liked the line, so I like drew it out in like golden paint, and then I drew this rose with an eye and a mouth. I don't know why. And then this orange out of gouache. But I love how like the colors, the purples and the oranges interact. Yeah, I just really like the spread. This is also a really good spread as well. There's just a lot going on, and I really like when my spreads have that, where there's just a lot going on. This is a sticker from The Anxious Handler. This is a portrait. I don't know who this is of, but I'll try to remember and put them in the description. It's just somebody that I found on Instagram, so I drew them in graphite here. Just a bunch of random stuff stuck in, some thank you notes. I drew this cat. I thought it was super cute. There's nothing particularly awesome about any of the drawings in here, but again, I just love how everything interacts. Another interesting spread here, we were gonna go on vacation. I believe this was in summer of 2021, and I was super excited, so I made this whole like art journal spread. So if you had watched my previous videos, I made an art journal spread, and this is kind of the stuff I was trying to get back into. I don't love how it turned out, but I kind of like it. Like, it's okay. So in the future, I might do more of this, like pasting different things into the sketchbook. And then here, like, I got a cute pot for my pothos plant, so I drew that using Ohuhu markers, I believe. But again, I like how the two parts of this, they interact with each other. This spread I did while we were on vacation. Drew peaches using colored pencils, water bottle that I'd taken with me, figs out of gouache, and I think they turned out pretty cute. This sticker is from Clementine Rot on Instagram. And yeah, just a bunch of doodles on this page here. I really like how the spread turned out, again, with everything interacting with each other. So this is a little gouache painting that I did while we were on vacation of like these fruits hanging in this like triple basket. I don't know, I really love how it turned out with the Posca white, like highlighting it. I don't know, I really love it. And then I did again that idea where I had my notes that I had taken in school on sticky notes, and then since I didn't have any use for them anymore, I just glued them around to create sort of a border. So I like that idea. This is another sticker I got from that contest, same one where I got this sticker. So I pasted that in here. And then this is a little box. We called it a cupcake box. It's not a cupcake box, but it looks like it. So I had drew this out of pen and gold paint, and then I pasted that in. And then these are just photos that my mom had taken at graduation, but they didn't really turn out well. They kind of got blurred with the lights, but I really like how they looked. So I glued them in here and I cut them up. The spread is okay. I believe I drew most of this when we had come back from vacation. This is just a little doodle that I did for a collab, if I'm not mistaken, on Instagram. Just a little pumpkin ghost boy. Bunch of little gouache doodles with leftover paint. This little like newspaper illustration I had hung on my wall for the longest time, but then I didn't want to have it on my wall anymore, so I glued it in my sketchbook and then doodled all over it. And then a postcard, and then another like messed up photograph that I just doodled on. So we're entering into the parts of the sketchbook where I was definitely in the thick of it mentally. That's why this spread here is kind of dark. These are just a bunch of stickers. These are stickers I got from a Depop order, so unfortunately I don't know who did these stickers originally. They're just random stickers I got in an order, but I really like how they went with this painting here, so I stuck them in. And then this little frog, I really like him. I drew this little frog out of gouache and gave him little butterfly wings. I don't know. I thought they looked pretty. And then my sister had gotten this little plushy bear, and we just named him Bear the Bear, and I wanted to paint him. And then I did a little graphite illustration, kind of hard to show with the glare, but this is of Cup of Jasmine on Instagram. She also has a YouTube channel, and I believe she posted this on her Instagram, and yeah, I really like the photo. And then another photo that got messed up that I just glued in here. And then this is a sticker that I got from Sarah Day Arts on Instagram. I got it from an order from her shop. So we'll go to the next one here. This spread is pretty cool. So this is another thank you note. Then I doodled here with a hoo-hoo marker. This is a little pen and I believe gouache illustration that I did of this musician Chaz Kiss on Instagram. She took this picture and posted on her Instagram, and I really liked it, so I drew it. You're gonna see a common theme of that in the sketchbook. And then this is a attempted portrait of Conan Gray. He had posted this picture on his Instagram. It doesn't really look like him, but I like the silhouette of his profile, so that's mostly why I drew it, that and like the flower hat. But again, it doesn't really look like him, but that's okay. Nothing spectacular about these drawings, but again, I really like how they all interact with each other in the spread. This is the next spread here. Again, just a bunch of stuff pasted in. I got into embroidery, so I pasted in the embroidery starter kit like thing where all the thread comes in, and a thank you note, another thank you note, another sticker that I don't know the artist who did it. It's just a random one that I got. Same with these. And then like this little like illustration that I did, again, was in the thick of it mentally, so just like kind of drew how I was thinking at the moment. Yeah, just a random spread here. This spread here, so a bunch of doodles again, a little perfume sample, another like little postcard that I got, and then this little illustration of this medicine bottle. And that's continued on the next page with this illustration at the top here that I kind of did upside down. This one is sticky note with pen and a hoo-hoo marker, and then a little pin cushion for all my little pins. I like how it looks, so I drew it with colored pencil, I believe. And then this and this were made with gouache with Posca pen doodles on it. And I really like how it turned out. I like the style. I don't think I've replicated it since then, but I really like how it turned out. And the little figure here is saying like, I am never going home. And then these hands with like little squiggles coming out of, I don't know. I really like how it turned out and how it looks, so I do really love the spread. And then another like overhead shot of that fox pot that I drew earlier, and another Amber Mart's frog sticker. But yeah, I really love this spread. Again, is cohesive overall. This spread here is kind of a bunch of nonsense. It was trying to do a 7-day challenge or something, but it didn't really work out. One of the prompts was to practice something, I think, so I did noses. And then another one of the prompts was to do what you're wearing, so I drew that. It turned out like whatever. And then I did this little, day 4, I forget what it was, but I just drew whatever on black paper and then I stuck it in. And then I believe day 1 was to draw yourself, so like a self-portrait. So that's the only part of that that I really like. It doesn't really look like me, but the style I really like with the pen and like the gouache and like the little stars on the cheeks and stuff. So I don't know. This is a draw this in your style that I did from this artist. I forget her name, but I will put it in the description. Just another bunch of stuff pasted in. That's what most of my sketchbook is at the moment. And then I did this little gouache portrait that I really like. It's part of our wall has this berets hung up with little posters, and then this is like my ukulele case, and then this is the bin where we keep all our books. So I took a picture of that and then I painted it with acrylic paint, I believe. So I liked it, so I stuck it in my sketchbook. This spread I really love. So this is a colored pencil little illustration. I've seen people do this in their sketchbooks where they draw their room, kind of like an overhead shot of their room. So that's what I tried to do, and I really love how it turned out. I wasn't really confident when I was making it, but when I was done with it, I really like enjoyed it. I loved how it turned out. I think it really represented our room, and I used like a very monochromatic scheme, only like coloring in very small portions because I didn't want to make it too realistic. I just wanted it to be kind of like figurative and expressive, not really realistic. But yeah, I really like how this like little piece turned out, and then again a bunch of stuff pasted in. But yeah, I like how these colors kind of go with these colors, and I didn't even mean to make it like that. So yeah, I like this spread here. Again, a really cool spread with a lot of stuff going on. So this is a picture that I believe Nicole Raffi, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, she posted on her Instagram this picture of clementines with this like baby head candlestick and like this vase of orange roses. And I love how all the colors look, so I drew it using colored pencil, home markers, and pen. And I really love how it turned out. And then a bunch of other little doodle sticky notes. This is a thank you note from somebody I got a Depop order from, and yeah, again, love how the colors turned out. This is a bit hard to open here, but this is just my courses. This was my first semester at college, I believe, so this is the pamphlet I got of all the courses or honors courses. This might have been my second semester, honestly, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's why this is kind of hard to open. I have to hold it like this. But there's also an envelope here that I doodled on because I had this dream where all of the plants in the world were like orange and purple. So I thought it looked really pretty in my dream. So I drew it with gouache. I'm not sure how much I love how it turned out, but I don't know. I thought it was a cool thing to draw since I dreamt it. So moving on here. This was during the Met Gala 2022, so I drew some of my favorite outfits. I believe this is Billie Eilish's, this is Lizzo. I forget whose dress this is, but I used colored pencil, acrylic paint, and gold paint, and yeah, I really like how they turned out. And not a bunch of stuff stuck in here like usual, so. Same thing here. This is when the TV show on Netflix came out, Heartstopper. And I love the comics. I love Alice Oseman in general. She's the author of Heartstopper, and I was so anticipating this TV show, and it did not disappoint. I loved all the characters, so I drew them a couple together. I believe Darcy and Tara are my favorite, and then probably Nick and Charlie, and then Elle and Tao. I don't really like how I did Tao, but I really like how I did Elle. And yeah, I really like how they turned out with a bunch of stickers here from a Depop order. So this is just a thank you note, a little car air freshener that I stuck in because I liked how it looked. Library receipt, and then this is a little pen and colored pencil drawing that I did of Harry Styles in the infamous dress. I really like how he looks, so I drew it. And then I wrote the name of his album. This spread, a lot's going on, even though I don't like most of the drawings. So like these two are ugly. These are just little Pinterest drawings that I did, but I don't really like them. This is a graphite portrait of Riz Ahmed. He's one of my favorite actors. This is a picture of a fish. I forget where, I forget if I took a picture of this fish or I found it online. I don't remember, but I liked it, so I drew it. End of story there. And then a bunch of other shit taped in. Again, another spread where there was a lot going on. So this is a painting of a cat, a business card from an artist, Raptor Kid Art, on Instagram, and then this little gouache of just a hand. I like the shape that it made, so I drew it. I made like a charm out of beads for my phone, so I drew that. I don't know, and just a bunch of dots and sparkles that I drew with Ohuhu markers. I like filling in my pages that way. I really love the maximalist aesthetic. So the more maximalist a spread, the more I like it, even if the drawings aren't that good, like this spread. A lot of these drawings here aren't that good. This is a plushie that my sister had. I had an idea of like, pairing this quote with this moth. I don't know why. This is a little camel that we got our cousin, and we had it in this sheer plastic bag, so it looked cool through the sheer plastic bag. So I drew that using, I believe, colored pencil and gouache, maybe like some watercolor, I don't know. And then this is a strawberry that was shaped like a heart, so I painted it. I don't really like how it turned out. The colors came out too muddy, but whatever. This spread is kind of cool. So this is a drawing that I had abandoned like years ago, and I found it one day and I wanted to recolor it in. So it's just a bunch of these dandelions turning into butterflies and like this little girl watching from the corner. It's whatever, but I kind of like the concept, so I might go back to it one day. And then a bunch of tags that I got. This is a poem that I got from the poet Haley Clancy. You can read the poem here. And then this is a little portrait of a Nikki Nasty, aka Nicole Raffi, one of my favorite YouTubers. Kind of hidden, but it's okay. Another photo that kind of went wrong. My sister got this cute bejeweled pen, so I decided to draw it with Ohuhu markers. And we also got these bikes to ride around in, and they were super cute, so I decided to draw them. A bunch of other doodles from that vacation. This is just like a cigarette container that I found on the beach, and I really like how it looked, so I pasted it in. Just a bunch of other beach stuff that we found that I decided to draw. More drawings that I did based on photos that I took. This is like a resort with a palm tree that I decided to paint with gouache, and I pasted it in here. This spread I really like, so this was like at the end of vacation, then like coming back. This was inspired by a painting I saw while on vacation. I don't know who was the artist who did the painting, because I don't believe there was any signature or anything, but I really like the style, so I tried to emulate that. Very monochromatic, very simplistic in its style. I really like it, how it turned out, and I like how it interacts with everything else. So like I drew these earrings that my mom had given me, and this little sticker that my sister gave me, and then at this point, the Bee and Puppy Cat show was coming out on Netflix, and I'm a big fan of Bee and Puppy Cat, and when I heard that Netflix was creating a spin-off, I was really excited, so I drew this little watercolor illustration to show my excitement, and I thought it turned out really cute and really went well with this side of the sketchbook. This was kind of, I had an idea of doing like a before and after of like before going on vacation and then after. So like before I was like sad and lonely, and then after I was like happy and rejuvenated, using different like color palettes. And this was all made in gouache, and I believe the black and white are like Posca marker. But yeah, I like how it turned out, and I tried to do a spread with like nothing else pasted in, just my own art. This spread I really like, so again, another business card here. I was trying out a bunch of washi tape that I got. This, and this, they're part of Peachtober. I attempted to do it, I failed miserably. So one of the prompts I think was cowboy or cow or something, so I did that. And then one of the prompts was dandelion, so I drew that. Peachtober day 1 for 2022 was cave, so I did this like big sprawling pen illustration, and I never got to that level of quality with the other two here, but I like how this cave turned out, so I taped it in with some washi tape. And then this is a little poem that, it's not my poem, it's a poem by Jeffrey McDaniel, and I really like the poem, so I wanted to write it out in my own pens and then like doodle and annotate over it. I don't know why, I just thought it was a good idea to use this blank space that was here on this other side of this cave painting. So yeah, that's what I did. And then this is a sticker I got from Well-Fed Artist at a little art festival that I went to. A bunch of doodles. This is a doodle of a little baby charm that I found at a flea market. And then this is a little drawing with Ohuhu markers of a Starbucks drink that I got. I thought it looked cute. this spread here is whatever, just another bunch of stuff pasted in just to fill space. This is a little like home decor object that my family found at a flea market, so I decided to paint it in here. And then this is I believe this is the mascot for the 2022 World Cup. His name was like Laib, and he was like this floating little headdress, and he was so cute, and I loved him so much. So I decided to draw him, because that's what I do. And this is my college's literary magazine. We were advertising for people to submit, so this is the postcard that we made, and I just stuck it in here. This spread I really like. This is one of the last spreads here. We're almost done, guys, but this is a portrait of one of my favorite YouTubers, Ro Ramden. She posted this on her Instagram, and I really liked it, so I drew it. As always, more stuff just randomly stuck in here. This is from Dire Needs Zine. And then I got this little people pouch, it's basically like a burger bear, and I thought he's really cute, so I named him Larry the Burger Bear, and I painted him with gouache and acrylic paint. And we're finally on the last spread here. So this was when I was getting into Ghibli, Studio Ghibli movies. So I painted a bunch of some of my favorite characters from the movies using Ohuhu markers. These are just a bunch of things pasted in. This is a print from the artist Small Dweeb on Instagram. I really love their art, their collage art. So I got a couple prints from them, and this is one of them. This is Studio Ghibli themed, and I thought it really went with this page here, so I pasted it in here. And yeah, this is the last spread here. And then this page here is just one that I did probably in the beginning of the sketchbook, so 2 years ago now. Little doodles and paintings. This is a painting of an old photograph that my parents had taken of me when I was little, but it didn't really turn out well. I kind of look like a piece of bread, honestly. So I just pasted it in the back because I didn't want to see it anymore. And then this is just an envelope that I stuck in here for little things. And then again, a pen illustration, kind of like the one that I did in the front inside of the sketchbook of from things I saw today. I drew it in pen on the back cover here. And that's it. So I'll just briefly tell you about the stickers on here. So this is another sticker from AZ Youth Climate with a little fin. And then this is a sticker I got from Van Illustrates. But yeah, guys, that is my entire sketchbook that I completed between January 2021 and December 2022. So again, almost 2 years that it took me to complete the sketchbook. He's definitely a big boy here, but I'm really proud of it. I'm proud that I did all this artwork in this one handmade sketchbook. I'm definitely going to keep continuing to make my own sketchbooks because I think it's just easier. I'm trying to figure out what sketchbooks to buy online. I think this is much better. I use the paper I want. I like the size of sketchbook too. I'll try to tell you in the description what the size is. I don't have the measurements off the top of my head. But yeah, guys, I really hope you enjoyed this sketchbook tour. This will probably be the last sketchbook tour you'll see in a while because I need to complete my current one. But yeah, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below what your favorite spread of the sketchbook was, or maybe some of your art goals that you have for this year. But yeah, guys, I hope you're having a great day, week, month, whatever you're feeling, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!